in pig ears tonight, but my supplier rang and told me that the pig ears hadn't arrived, so as an alternative I'm going to do beef paws tonight. I'm sorry about any inconvenience if you were looking forward to pig ears. Right, the beef paws will, when done, so the end product will look like that. To make them, I use my dehydrator, which I have here, silicone paw moulds, which you can buy from Amazon, Wish, eBay, you name it. The best mince to use is 15% fat or lower, however I picked up 20% fat. Why I say it's the best mince is because fat doesn't dehydrate. So to get a really dry product, the lower your fat percentage, the better. Also with fat, if you have got a dehydrator with a bottom fan, like the one I've got, even though it's got a drip well, the fat will collect and can run into your fan, so the electric bits, which then can cause a short or worse. So if you have got a dehydrator like mine, I would advise to cover the bottom layer with either some kitchen towel like I've done here, or use grease-proof paper. That way you catch all the grease without it dripping into the drip well. Right, if you have got a dehydrator with a back fan, obviously you do not have to worry about all that. Let's get started then, shall we? If you are watching and you are using the chat, I'm sorry, I'm using my phone, so I can't see what you're putting up in chat. Unfortunately, I will try and sort something out for that. Right, what I'll do, I need the scales as well. To make sure I got the same size and same weight treats, I always weigh me raw product. When doing mince, I weigh them out to 17 grams each, so balls of 17 grams each. That's a little bit too much. Press them in the mould. And do the next one. Obviously you can just do like little burgers, or you can roll them into sticks, which I've done before. I'll show you that as well. If you haven't got a mould, you can just roll them into balls and flatten them like a burger, and then put them on the dehydrator like that. Another idea is to just roll them out. And roll them into sticks like that and put them on the dehydrator. It doesn't really matter. I just like the idea of having the paws. I'm wrestling here. Right, when dehydrating any type of meat, when you switch your dehydrator on, make sure you turn it up to 70 degrees. That's the right temperature for dehydrating any type of meat. So be it chicken, turkey, pork, beef, even fish. So any meat product, dehydrate on 70 degrees. If you want to do something like sweet potato, because there's a lot of sweet potato treats on the market as well, any fruit, vegetable, you dehydrate on 50 degrees Celsius. So that's the difference between dehydrating fruit, veg or meat. Now if you want to do a meat treat and wrap fruit or veg around it, I'd suggest you dehydrate the meat part first at 70. Then once it's dehydrated, wrap the vegetable or fruit part around it and then dehydrate that at 50. You see, like chicken strips with bits of sweet potato rolled up around them. As I said, the best way to do that is dehydrate your meat first before actually adding the vegetable part. Now all I have to do is gently press the paws out, hopefully they don't break, and put them on. I only got a cheap dehydrator, £20 from eBay, because I didn't really want to invest into something expensive if it turned out it wasn't for me to use. But now I'm regretting not investing in a more decent, expensive one, because I do dehydrate an awful lot. This is going to be long and boring for you to watch. But then again, someone might just be joining us now who is like, what the is she doing? See, the weighing out is the worst part of the whole process. The rest of it is quick and easy. Just make sure if you use moulds to press them down really, really tight. Make sure you get into every little corner, that way you really get the shape into it. The reason why I weigh them out at 17 grams each is so that every one of my dogs not only gets the same amount treat wise, but it's also easier when dehydrated, because it won't take as long. They're only like, what, half a centimetre thick, so it doesn't take that long to dehydrate, as where if I was, the thicker I make them, the more it takes to dehydrate. Chicken dehydrates really quick, like 12 hours, something stupid like that. As where the beef paws vary, depending on what type of beef mince I use. I've had paws dehydrate in 13-14 hours. And I had beef paws dehydrate for over 24 hours, depending on how much fat is in the mince. That was before I wisened up that fat doesn't dehydrate. So it's always good to know. Another good thing is you can just leave your dehydrator on, go to bed. Don't have to watch it or anything. Even if you find a spreadsheet somewhere that says, oh, you dehydrate chicken for 12 hours, even if you've got it on for over a day, you can never over dehydrate. You can under dehydrate, you can't ever over dehydrate. So leaving it on longer has got no effect, negative effect whatsoever. Now if you haven't got a dehydrator, or haven't got the funds to get a dehydrator at the moment, you can dehydrate in your oven if your oven goes low enough. Not all ovens go below 70 degrees. The only downside to using your oven is you use a lot more energy wise, so it doesn't really work out cheaper making your own treats that way, which is a shame. But it is possible, so if you haven't got a dehydrator, you want to dehydrate, try it out before you want to commit to buying a dehydrator, then that would be a good option. Make sure that if you do dehydrate in your oven, to leave your oven door ajar slightly so that all the moisture can get out of the oven and you get a little bit more airflow. They hurt something outside, sorry about that. They were being quality control until they hurt something outdoors. Yes, you're a little madam, a little chav. You know we don't do backy, don't you? Oh, baby, but you're not getting anything, baby. Sorry, I'm not going completely nuts. I've got my dogs at the side of me, hoping that I'd drop something. Yeah, you're just hoping I'm dropping something, don't you? See, there's only one good puppy, and that's your brother, who's probably asleep on the settee. Yeah. Right, 6 more for this tray. Right, that's another thing. Arts and crafts with mince. Some people wear gloves, I don't. I mean, if you've got an average standard of hygiene, e.g. wipe your sides, wash your hands, wash up when you're done, etc, etc. So basically using common sense. I don't really see the point of wearing gloves. Besides, I'm not a lot of people know this, partially sighted, so I do tend to not like to wear gloves because I like to know what I'm doing without having to strain with my eyes too much. But that's just me. Obviously, if you want to wear gloves, you can wear gloves. You will find that once your pets know where their treats are coming from, that they're with you every time you go to the kitchen. It's like they know in advance when I'm going to do their treats. Also, my two girls tend to take turns in regards to guarding the dehydrator. By guarding, I mean I'm in the living room and one of them will be laying in front of the worktop. The boys not so much, they just follow me around. Right, that's one tray of beef minced paws done. For our American friends it would be beef patties or burger meat, same thing. I'll just show you my quality control. If we've got the Bear Bear, here's our bin. We've got the Layla. She's not too fussed, but she does like to be quality control. We've got a Tia. Tia is a crumb inspector. And Rascal just decided to join us. Hello Rascal, nice for you to be here. So that's my quality control. Just thought I'd show you them. Let them join in. No, you're not having that, Layla. Can I continue? Thank you. Right, and I'll do the next tray. So yeah, these paws will, when dehydrated, look like that. And hey Crispy, who wants a pawpaw? Are you going to leave me alone then? Razzle, Layla, TT, and Bear. Go on then. I've got more paws to do for you lot. Yeah, definitely, if you are thinking about getting a dehydrator, if you can, try and invest in one with a back fan and stainless steel trays. I just wished I had done from the off. The only reason I didn't, as stated before, was because I wanted to try it out, see if I would actually keep using it instead of wasting money, and then it ended up in the cupboard not being used. Hey, look it off. Off. Thank you. Made sense at the time, but I'm seriously regretting it now. I am, however, saving up to get a dehydrator with a back fan and stainless steel trays. I'm actually thinking of something like a Class Time 9-tier dehydrator. The advantage of having a dehydrator with back fan is that every shelf gets dehydrated evenly, so no messing about with having to swap trays because the bottom tray dehydrates faster than the top tray. Not having to worry about fat or moisture dropping down into the drip tray and overflowing. Also, because you can easily take the trays out if you've got one with a back fan, they're high, they're about, depending on what you get, they're about that high. You can just pull the trays out, which means that you don't even have to put every tray in, which then gives you more space to put in bigger pieces. So for me that would mean if I was for example to do tracheas, I wouldn't have to cut them in half to actually fit them on a tray. I can just take a couple of trays out and create some space in that way, or I could take them all out and just hang them up. So yeah, I'm definitely looking into getting a dehydrator with back fan soon. Layla, no, leave it. Oh. Excuse me. Sorry about that. Yeah, you're naughty. Right, for anyone who just joined and wonder what I'm doing, I did say I was going to dehydrate pig ears tonight, but unfortunately my supplier rang and said that they didn't deliver any pig ears, so I had to, I still wanted to go with my first ever live stream and decided to do some beef mince paws instead. So I do apologise if you were looking forward to seeing me prepare and sort pig ears. You'll unfortunately have to wait till the next time. I did get pig skins, so depending on what time I'm home tomorrow, I might do a live stream on pig skins. If not, definitely on Sunday. So if you have started to watch a live stream and you are interested in seeing me do pigskin braids, then just look at the countdown, because I will put a countdown timer in there. So underneath where it shows my videos on my dashboard, I've got a countdown timer, and it'll show you when the next live will be. So yes, pigskin braids are next on the menu. Either tomorrow or Sunday. Making sure every beef paw ends up being at 17 grams of raw meat. Now, obviously, once dehydrated, there'll be a lot lighter because all the moisture's been drawn out, and also a lot of the fat will have been dripping out. 17 grams of raw meat makes a 5 gram treat, so that tells you 12 grams is moisture and fat which have dripped out. Also obviously depends on what type of mince you use. Low fat mince will probably end up a bit heavier than high fat mince. Unfortunately this time I brought a beef mince with 20% fat, which means that I'll get an awful lot of fat dripping out. To prevent any fat dripping into the fan part, I've put some kitchen towel down to catch up on the bottom tray, not putting any product on the bottom tray, as you can tell, right there. Instead of kitchen towel you can use greaseproof paper, works absolutely brilliant as well. So at least when I leave it on overnight, I don't have to worry about anything dripping into the fans. Which if you have got a dehydrator with a bottom fan can potentially happen. I'm not saying it will happen, I'm saying it could potentially happen. I've seen a couple of posts on Facebook where someone has blown their dehydrator up due to moisture running into the fan part. So rather safe than sorry. If you're out on Facebook and you're interested in raw feeding, feel free to join my Facebook group. It's 16 Paws Raw Feeding Information and Support. Also got a website, which is 16paws.co.uk. You can find the links again underneath where it shows my live stream and videos. Layla, what are you doing? Leave your brother's ears. Ear holes. Leave them alone. Thank you. Sorry, for some reason one of my dogs has got an ear fetish. You always got to choose someone to do it, don't you? Yes, you do. If you are in chat, I really do apologise because I can't see the chat. I'm using my phone and I haven't got any other devices I can put anywhere in the kitchen to check the chat. So I do apologise. If you have got questions, you can always send them to admin@16paws.co.uk. So, got any questions, comments, feedback, ideas, feel free to pop me an email on 16paws. So admin@16paws.co.uk. Hopefully eventually I will be able to have something here where I can read the chat, e.g. a tablet. But as it stands, unfortunately, I've got to do with what I've got, which currently is my phone. Don't think about it. Other doggies back. We don't. Now there's a thought. If you have got a liquidy substance, e.g. you've got a dog that doesn't like eating liver or kidney, or you just want to make liver or kidney treats, and you've put it in the blender or whatever, which I have done in the past. My dogs refused at the beginning to eat liver and kidney. So I used to put it through the mixer and made a mush, which was an absolute mess. You can actually use the same mush to make treats. You can use silicone moulds in your dehydrator. Basically what you do, instead of me pressing it out, you can fill your moulds up with a mixture and just pop your mould on completely. Once the top part is hardened, when you are dehydrated, once the top part of your mould is hardened, you can gently push them out, or turn it upside down, leave it on for a couple of hours more and then push them out. But yes, you can do liquidy or runny type substances. So that would be an idea for liver treats, for example. Use silicone moulds and put the moulds on the trays. I say, a lot of people tend to use 160, 150 ice cube tray moulds. Again, you can get this from eBay, Amazon, and other online vendors like Wish. The 160 moulds are actually a really good idea for making small, manageable training treats, because as a training treat you don't want big treats. So small bite-sized treats, the 160 moulds are absolutely perfect for that. The video will, the live stream will at the end be posted on YouTube, so you can always watch it back on there if you so wish. It's up to you, no obligations. also maybe if you want to look back in future, oh, what has she been doing? And maybe save it somewhere so you can look back. There's another tray then. Right, again, if you just stumbled upon this stream and wondering what I'm doing, I'm making treats for my dogs using beef mince and a silicone pour mould. I got the silicone mould off of Wish, but you can find it on eBay and Amazon as well. Actually, some shops have started to sell them as well. You don't have to use moulds, you can make little burgers out of it. You can make mince strips, it's up to you. Mince is versatile, it's bendable, it's mouldable. So if you are creative, just use your imagination. Any meat product you decide to dehydrate will have to be dehydrated on 70 degrees Celsius. Vegetable or fruit products dehydrated on 50 to 60 degrees. You can use your oven to dehydrate, but it'll be more expensive in energy costs. The time of dehydrating from raw to finished products all depends on, in this case, what type of mince you use, how thick you're planning to make your treats, but also on the type of dehydrator you use. I'm using a dehydrator with bottom fan. I'm not saying every bottom fan dehydrator works the same, but in my case I end up having to switch over my trays because they don't dehydrate evenly. My bottom trays dehydrate faster than my top trays, which kind of makes sense. So that in turn increases the dehydrating time. If you've got a dehydrator with back fan, obviously it'll dehydrate more evenly over all the trays, which reduces the dehydrating times. The good thing about it is though that you can't ever over dehydrate. You can under dehydrate, you can't over dehydrate. looks like I'm almost done, which means we're almost at the end of my live stream as well. Hopefully I weren't too bad and you did enjoy watching and have learned a couple of things. If you have got any tips, ideas, questions, feel free to pop me an email on admin@16paws.co.uk, or feel free to join the Facebook group 16 Paws Raw Feeding Information and Support. There's a join us button underneath the video screen, so have made it easier for you. Right, and that's that done. Quickly wash my hands. And then it's time to switch the dehydrator on. Wipe the sides. So, I hope you can see this. 70 degrees. Standard, I put my dehydrator on at 24 hours. I just do that so that I don't have to mess about an awful lot. Can just leave it on. Now, some products take about 12 hours, others take 9 hours. I've had products that take 2 days to dehydrate, depending on what it is. Piggies tend to take a little bit longer with me. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed watching, and I hope you come back for more next time. I will be doing pigskin braids either tomorrow evening or Sunday evening, but I will pop it in the countdown timer, so please check back in if you are interested in how to do that. Thank you ever so much for watching.